Okay, I think we should be live now.
Hello and welcome to Source War Wednesdays. We're on issue 86 and it's a fun day. I got Rich and E, and we've got Karini. I got my nail file because I'm feeling kind of trimmy. I don't know what. Yeah, that's the song.
My mind came silly. I've got my nail
silly.
because I'm
feeling kind of silly.
Nice.
Seriously, we need to just put these down as like little intro
interlude skits.
Yeah.
Like, welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to the Source War issue 86 here with us, the Source
Yes,
Warriors. Yes, because we're quarantined, ready. We got our rum, beards,
Whiskey.
glasses, and whiskey. There we go. Whiskey, rum, water. It's great shit. That's all.
Zimbabwe doesn't drink rum.
Yeah. Keep everybody in the comments. I mean, the people, them, Sean, you know, Kiran, my dad.
I love rum. Rum is so nice. Like,
rum is very nice.
You know what? When I was in Barbados, I was drunk for 2 weeks straight and didn't even notice.
That's a good holiday then.
That is. And rum in a hot country is just juice. So it's like,
basically.
Exactly.
it's just juice.
Basically.
So yeah. How is everybody doing? How are we quarantining?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we're doing all this. Yeah, I'm not reading comic books, guys. I don't know what
Yeah,
it is.
you've been.
Right.
Do you know what? I haven't either. I did actually. Basically, I'm in Denmark at the moment, and I thought I wouldn't have any internet. So when I got here, I was just trying to read some comic books, and I was like, I'm still behind. I still haven't caught up. This was the perfect opportunity for me to catch up on the comics, on the big stack of comics that I've got, and you know, just read. But
You know,
no, it didn't happen. It's not happening.
you know, I've noticed Forbidden Planet hasn't sent me anything. They send me like one comic every other whenever. I've got an email saying that. Remember that comic I told you guys about where it's like it's set in America and it's like you have to fight to be president?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called. They're sending me issue 2 out, and I'm like, okay, but I've got like a stack of shit.
Yeah.
Send me. And I'm thinking they're probably not going to send that stuff. So I've decided wherever comics they send me, I'm just going to carry on from there. So if I'm missing a chunk, it's wherever. Like it's straight.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them actually. I don't know if they're closed as well, because obviously they're not getting any new comics in, but they do other stuff as well. So I'm not sure if they are kind of like still sending. Although actually, I did order. Was it before or after the lockdown? I can't remember now.
This is what I'm saying. They just sent me an email. They sent me an email saying that you're like your issue of whatever is on the way. So there still must be sending. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe some comics are easier to get for them. I don't know, man.
Maybe. And a lot of comics, a lot of mail at the moment is getting like slightly delayed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just on a regular anyway. So it's just like, maybe you might get one now and then like next week you'll get like 80. You know, and you'll be like, all right, cool. Okay, I got too much to read now.
I'm going to have to take another quarantine when that happens.
One thing I want to kind of say, I want to big up Tones and the Biz. This is a new podcast.
Oh.
Yo, what up, Tones
And
and
the Biz. All right, so this is a new podcast by a couple of friends of ours, a really good friend of ours, and actually they're just talking about games basically. Yeah. So they've just done. They're on their. I was going to say issue 4. Yeah. They're on their episode 3, I think now. Is it 3 or 4 they've done?
I think it's 3.
No, they've done. I'm sure they've done 4. I think so.
Is it 4?
Yeah.
Really? Why? Me can't tell you.
Yeah, it's 4. They're up to 4. I've listened. I'm on 3.5. But yeah, they've been talking about Final Fantasy. They did a spoiler-free Final Fantasy talk. They did a Street Fighter 5/6.
I'll be watching that one.
They was talking about games and services. So like, so you know, like now with games, when you buy them, instead of actually playing through the game, which is one thing I love about Final Fantasy, but let's not go that far. But one thing is as an old games player, I love playing for my rewards. But now it seems like people just play
Wait, you love
games
playing what? Sorry.
and having my rewards, playing for my rewards. But nowadays it seems like you can just buy your rewards, buy your extra garments, buy your extra clothing, buy your different levels. There's no challenge in that. And
back in the day, you could just earn them. You do a certain amount of something, so like you get this. But now it's like I blame the gaming companies because they just thought, well, why are we giving these away? Why don't we just sell them?
Exactly. So they do go into a bit more detail on that episode. They've got like a horror ones, horror.
That was a really good one, by the way, guys.
Horror games and their influences. And the next one is the last one they did is a Final Fantasy VII Remake spoiler talk, which I will be listening to once I won't be for a while. Yeah, I'll be listening to that, man. That game is too sick, man. That game is sick.
Yay! Hi, guys. Go listen to them and then listen to us and listen to them and then come back listen to us and then listen to both of us. You know what I mean? That's what we're here. You know?
That's good. Tones and the Beers.
Tones and the Beers now. I like the name as well. Very smart.
I don't get it.
I get it. Yeah.
I'm joking. I get it. I'm just joshing you.
All right, guys. All right.
Okay, what we got?
What do we have?
Going on right now? What's the news?
So the news, some good news actually. Some news that I like anyway.
I like this news too.
I also like this news.
Yes,
we like this news. Taika Waititi to co-write and direct a Star Wars film.
Woo! I feel like we put that into the universe, and thankfully, the people at Marvel have nothing to do right now, so they listened, and we're very happy about this news. He fits perfectly. The new Star Wars, I would be very excited to watch for him to direct, because I feel like he understands what you're supposed to do in a fucking movie. What?
Oh god.
We'll see. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, whenever I see you do it in interviews, I'm like, I really like this guy. What is it about this guy's energy that
that's what it is.
I seem to like? What it is that he was born 10 years before me, but 6 days after my birthday.
Nice. So you say same star sign then.
Same star sign. Fellow Leo. Leo in the house.
Leo gang. Leo gangs are alright. They're good. You're good people.
But I think he's dope. I'm loving that he's doing
definitely.
this.
Definitely.
So
especially after the Mandalorian was just beautiful.
Yeah, he did do an episode of the Mandalorian, didn't he? I was just trying to have a look, but I'm sure he did. He played IG-11, that robot. That was actually pretty sick. He was actually pretty sick in that. I'm just trying to quickly look to see if I'm sure he did direct an episode. He did, didn't he?
He did. Didn't he direct?
No, he didn't do. He didn't do all of it. They've been kind of mixing different directors in it. So actually, we're trying to. I'm trying to rewatch it again now. Actually.
Yay!
Since we got the time, he directed the last episode of the Mandalorian. I'm not sure if he did another one, but they kind of got different directors directing different episodes. So if he does the film I'm gonna go on a slight tangent. Sorry, I need to go on this. Slight tangent.
We don't get rich tangents much.
Right.
Go for the tangent.
So, I've just finished watching Clone Wars. It was literally the last episode.
Oh.
I would say sorry for the guys who's always told me to watch Clone Wars back in the days when it was nice and fresh before the hiatus and all that. I binged through it throughout this whole thing. I binged through it and it has been sick. It's been sick, and I kind of I'm at a point where I'm like, these guys, they did Clone Wars, but then these movies, how could they not do anything like even come to that like sphere of Clone Wars. Clone Wars is like Star Wars to the T, whereas these movies you're like, it's like what do you say? They didn't do their homework. So, yeah.
I don't know how that happens. I mean, for in with the second of the new trilogy, I haven't watched the third one yet. The second one, whoever was the writer/director, didn't like the fans and doesn't like Star Wars. He was just trying to get paid blatantly. There was that scene. Oh my god, it vexes me every time I think about it. And the thing is, that scene where he's like, "Come on, you know the truth about your parents. You know who they are." And then it's like, you're like this in the cinema. Who are they? Who are they? They're garbage people. They're blah blah. I'm like, you're taking the piss.
Yeah.
You know that's not what we wanted. Having said that, I know you guys have seen the one after that. I haven't watched it yet, but I will be watching it soon because it's been on Disney Plus, and me and my family are going through like a Star Wars thing right now.
Don't just watch Rebels and just don't.
I'm watching Rebels.
I need closure.
I know you need closure. I don't know. Eat a biscuit. Don't do it. Do it. I'm trying to save you.
I appreciate it.
That last episode of Clone Wars, though, man, that was closure, boy. Jeez.
I'll get there. I'm still on more than halfway through season one, but I can't stand shows that are 20-something episodes, man. I'm just watching it like, hurry up.
Yeah.
I know.
And the episodes feel long.
Because you're having so much fun.
Because
you're having so much fun.
No. Because when I was watching...
What are you going to say? What are you going to say?
No, say it.
I was just going to say, when I'm watching shows like... When I was watching Avatar or Young Justice, those are the same amount of length and time. They fly by, and it's weird. I'm enjoying Star Wars, but I'm like, all right, wrap it up. You know what I mean?
I think because they like to have a good crescendo. Like they.
Sorry to interrupt.
No.
Do you know what I found? Because what I'm finding with Rebels, because I'm actually watching Rebels at the moment, and what I'm finding is that I know that there's a part where Obi-Wan comes and he's with spoilers. If you know, I haven't even seen it, but I know what happens. But there's a part where Obi-Wan and what's his name comes back. What am I forgetting his name? No. Mule. Darth Maul. Yeah, Darth Maul.
Mule.
Darth Mule. There's a episode with those two, and I'm waiting to watch those episodes. And because I know that it's in season, I think it's season 3 or 4, but I'm still on season 2. But because I know, it makes it longer for me. So I'm like, I'm like you, Karen. Yeah, I'm anticipating that.
Do you know what? It's because I know Darth Maul's coming back, and I have gone on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
That's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what's happened to me. That's what I'm saying. Like, it seems long, and they're kind of, you know, it seems like it's going to be a long time, but don't look for spoilers, man. That's that's basically
that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
Oh, bless.
Because I know Darth Maul comes back in season 2 of Clone Wars. And then you went and told me that at the end of it ties into. So I just want to be there. Do you know what I mean? Season 1 is just long, like. Okay, it makes sense.
My day.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that's probably exactly what it is. Oh well.
Never mind.
What else are we doing?
Taika Waititi, sick. Let's do this. I'm up for him. Writing and directing this.
Yes.
He's also in addition. So this basically has come from StarWars.com. They released this on. Oh yeah, happy May the 4th be with you.
So May the 4th today.
Well, it was on the 4th.
A couple of days ago.
Yeah. May the 4th be with you, and the 5th, and the 6th, and the 7th.
So they released this on their website. Joining Waititi, this is coming from their site. Joining Waititi on the screenplay will be Academy Award nominee Christy Wilson Kearns. She did 1917. I still need to watch that. And Last Night in Soho, who received the BAFTA Award for Outstanding British Film of the Year on the 3-time Oscar-winning film 1917. In addition, Emmy-nominated writer Leslie Headland, Russian Doll, and Bachelorette, is currently developing a new untitled Star Wars series for Disney Plus.
Maybe we'll finally get that Magnificent Seven that they promised us when Disney first bought Star Wars.
What Magnificent Seven?
Yeah.
What Magnificent Seven?
Basically, when they bought Star Wars, there was talks. My brother always brings this up. He's like, they were talking about how they were going to do so much things, kind of like outside of the
Skywalkers,
stuff. And one of their ideas was like a Magnificent Seven style Jedi mission.
Right.
So you get like 7 Jedis on a mission. I'm like,
yeah,
sick.
That would be ill.
Still don't have it.
Do you,
That would be so ill.
But do you know why? Do you know what I'm thinking? Because Mandalorian, if you watch Mandalorian has got that kind of Western feel to it already. So I don't know if they do that. Hopefully it's more like Seven Samurai kind of that sense rather than the West, because it does feel Western. It doesn't feel, a lot of Westerns are based off Japanese series. Yeah,
Samurai,
but this does actually feel Western. It doesn't feel samurai. So I hope if they do it, I hope they do it on the samurai sense rather than the Western, because I feel it will just seem a bit similar to Mandalorian.
Even that would be dope.
Yeah.
Just something different and original. And I just want to see. I'll keep it real. I want to see more Jedis as well. Excuse me. Let me start that sentence again.
Okay,
I want to see more
Yeah.
Jedi. It's already plural. I want to see more Jedi, and it's just like I'm done with the Skywalker stuff, and you messed it up.
Yeah, they did. Man.
Heavily
Like one of your actors didn't want to come back. One of them died like that year you were doing it, and God bless the other one.
Yeah. And as well, like you've got more chance to like delve into Jedi, not mythology, but the thesis of it. Like,
the mythology, because
you only know like unless you're doing like hardcore Star Wars research, what I mean, and buying the boots at fucking Comic-Con. Like you don't know that much about the actual different areas within Jedi. Like you said, if there's Sith and there's Grey Jedi, is there Red Jedi? Is there what I mean? Not that animals have to have Jedi, but like, what I mean? Is it all facets?
I would say as well, if you can, try and play Fallen Order, Star Wars Fallen Order. If you can play that, because there is quite a bit of history about the Jedi on that as well. So it is very interesting, man. Yeah, that whole legacy is very interesting. But yeah, I just want to see more Ahsoka, man. Ahsoka's sick.
Yeah. Ahsoka just needs her own. Thank you. You said the words came out in my mouth. Thank you very much, Kip. She needs her own movie, TV show,
all of it, man. Yeah,
all of it.
What they should do.
Yeah.
We've had the Skywalker saga. Cool. I want the Ahsoka saga.
Ahsoka saga. That sounds like a food.
I want the Ahsoka saga.
Ahsoka saga.
That might be.
Yeah, that might have to be the title of the show.
Ahsoka title. Keeping on the Star Wars flex. This is another bit of news. Robert Rodriguez and Peyton Reed is joining Star Wars: The Mandalorian.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we know, in what capacity?
So they've both revealed they are directing portions of the upcoming second season of The Mandalorian.
Okay.
While the assumption is they both directed whole episodes, they are not specific. So basically, they both tweeted. Rodriguez tweeted, "I am truly humbled to say I have now had the very rare privilege of directing the biggest star in the universe. At Star Wars, hashtag The Mandalorian, hashtag May the Fourth be with you." And he's got a picture of himself and Baby Yoda.
Who is
Baby Yoda? The child.
His name is
the child.
Time displaced Yoda. Is what you call it.
He is Baby Yoda. I do not care that scene will forever be great. Do the hand thing.
Yeah. I was watching.
Kieran, when you see it, you'll understand and laugh your face off.
I think I'm gonna hate that thing already because it's already overplayed. I'm like, everyone's watched it. I'm like,
nah,
that's what I
that
thought
guy
when they all came out. That's what I thought, and then I saw him, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
I love him. Or her. I don't know because we don't know.
I got Danielle into it. It was a bit of a mission to get her to watch the first episode. She was like, "Oh, I don't like Star Wars." I'm like, yeah, just watch this. You will like it at the end. And she was like, "What? Because Baby Yoda will come out." I was like, "No."
Just watch the
show.
TV show.
And then the next day, she's watching it by herself. So I think I've done something there. So yeah.
See, the force is strong with this one. It's good.
So Peyton Reed, he also tweeted. He just tweeted a picture, hashtag May the 4th be with you. It's a picture of the Mandalorian's helmet on a seat on a director's chair with Peyton Reed's name on it. So
Ooh, get them coins, man, and keep the level, okay? Because we have a specific Mandalorian level of greatness. Don't be dropping the bar. We appreciate you. I mean, keep it going. Yes.
One person who actually kind of introduced me to Rodriguez. I kind of knew him before, but I didn't realize his films was Sean, your brother.
Sean.
He kind of, because I was into Desperado. There's a couple of other ones as well. The first,
Desperado's bad
sick,
boy
man.
film.
It's sick. From Dusk Till Dawn, and a couple of other ones where I thought that Chris Tarantino directed, but it wasn't actually him. And it was Rodriguez, and your brother schooled me on that as well. So. And
nice.
I think because those two are supposed to be pretty good friends. That's what it is.
Yeah. I feel like Rodriguez does a better version in some cases.
I think so.
Like that's basically Tarantino films with no N-word. You know what I mean? If they did much swearing and no N-word, that's what the films would be like. They'll be more towards the story than the language, which I like because it's important to have a really good story. And Desperado's a bad boy. And Dusk Till Dawn, I've always wanted a sequel, but now it's
I think it did have a sequel.
There is a sequel. Yeah, there is. It's just like crap. I haven't seen it.
It might as well not have been a sequel.
And I don't think Robert Rodriguez did it.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, just leave Dust because Dust Till Dawn is great. It's amazing. It's funny. It's funny as hell. Yay! Okay, what else we got? As I harden my nails with chemicals and slightly getting high off chemicals. Go ahead.
So next bit of news is Marvel Studios and Disney Plus Ironheart series in the grapevine. Maybe.
Are we excited about this?
I mean, I didn't really read Ironheart.
I did. I read a bit. I need to catch up a hell of a lot. It depends.
You know when what was it called when the storyline where Captain America was a Hydra, a Nazi? What was that storyline again?
What was it called? I can't remember the name of the storyline. That story in Black Widow. Black Widow basically, I can't get the sentence out. Black Widow basically took the younger teen heroes, Secret Empire,
made a team out of them. Yeah. Secret Empire. You know, she had the younger heroes. Was Ironheart a part of that team?
I don't think she was.
Basically, I feel like I've had comic book interactions with Miles Morales and Kamala Khan, and even
so there was
Rocket
Vision. There was a team called the Champions, and they had Vision, Ironheart, Kamala Khan, and Miles Morales, and Chow as well, and the young Cyclops, and and
I just wasn't about those characters, by the way.
Well, actually, Nova. Nova as well was in there.
Nova, that's the one, the Rocket.
I didn't. I think I've read a couple of those those issues as well. I didn't keep up with that. She's not bad. She's okay. She's
mediocre.
I mean, yeah, I just feel that she came in at a bad time. I kind of understand what, because it was Brian Michael Bendis that kind of done it as well. And from what I understand, because he's adopted, I think he's adopted a black girl, and I think I could be getting him. Yeah, I could be mistaken, but he was saying that there wasn't no heroes for her, so he kind of created her for that kind of thing. I could be mistaken. I could be mixing it up with something else. But
I'm sorry. What?
Well, kind of in a sense that you don't really see that many black female superheroes out there. There's no books on that on like Storm really.
I'll give him that.
So
yeah, there's limited resources of black female lead.
So I think that was from what I remember. I could be mistaken. Like I'm saying, don't take it verbatim, but that was basically where she's from. I think that she's come at a wrong kind of time as well, in a sense, because you got her, you got Miles Morales, you got people coming and they're the same as Spider-Man, they're the same as Iron Man. They're not their own heroes. In a sense, so she's coming.
Yeah,
I think the thing is because she came in around the whole when Marvel was changing as well, like because Thor became a woman. Remember, everyone was just complaining that all the superheroes were becoming female. It was a whole thing. But Thor was, as in Mighty Thor. To me, she was dope. I don't know what everyone's problem was. I just didn't check for Ironheart because I didn't really read Iron Man.
Yeah. And I think as well, like when you're gonna do like a female character, like just make it organic. Like the female Thor is normal because Asgard has Bear, man and women. You know what I mean? And it's not uncommon. Like you know what I mean that Odin might have had something, or the Hammer's just like, oh right, this person's a good person, so I'm just gonna stick with that. You know what I mean? If you're just gonna interject a female role and make her a lead, then like you said, Richard, just make her like her own. You know what I mean? Just make her her own character and have her own story, rather than just making her. And even if you are going to pass the torch in a way that makes sense. You know what I mean? Don't just.
I mean, the thing is, the way that it happened though was she's very smart. I think apparently now she's smarter than Tony Stark, apparently. I read somewhere. But basically what happened, because she came around the same time that Tony Stark died, so she already kind of created her own iron armor suit, and artificial Tony Stark came to her, I think, or he gave it to her. So he was kind of the artificial one was kind of helping her out, and she was like starting off as a superhero, and he was giving her tips and stuff like that. So I mean, she was it wasn't too bad when I was reading it, but I didn't carry on reading it, so which is a shame. It's just kind of like a waste of a character. Like it would have been, you know what I mean, just make. But do we want to see a show on her though?
No, honestly, I don't care. I'll be fair. I will be fair, and I will give it. Do we know who's doing it again?
Marvel and Disney. No, we don't have any.
So we don't have. Depending on who's writing and all that.
Is it animated?
That's what I was gonna say. That's like when you asked me the question, I was like, it depends if it's animated or live. I would prefer it to be live because everything else is live at the moment, and there isn't many animated shows.
I would prefer it if it's live, only because Marvel hasn't done a good animated show since Spectacular Spider. No, Avengers. What was that Avengers cartoon?
Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Around that time in Spectacular Spider-Man, then after that, everything was just crap. No, but that X-Men was before, so I'm saying.
Vintage,
that stuff doesn't count. That doesn't count. I'm saying that's where it peaked. That's where it stops. Everything after those two shows is crap. Everything before those two shows is golden. Like, platinum,
Yeah.
diamond.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd prefer it to be live action as well.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm not. I won't even if they say, "Oh, it's part of the whatever." I don't care.
Yeah.
Show and prove for one, and live action, whatever. I don't care if
And as well, like with live action, there are certain things that you just can't not put in there. You know what I mean? Like there's just certain things about her character, and then having all of that power that you just cannot put in there. But if you do a cartoon, it's kind of like a cop out because you're just gonna make it kid friendly, and not everyday kids.
What Marvel does is why I wouldn't want to animate it, because they just
they're just
DC. They want to do, I don't know.
Yeah, DC would have smacked it out the park, but yeah. But we'll watch this space and let.
Defo. Alright, so next one is rumor. There's a rumor that we will see Atlantis in the Eternals movie. So
that would be funny. Just because we see Atlantis, that doesn't mean we see.
Well, I mean that's the thing. I was looking this up, and it just kind of seems like when we got Wakanda in, was it Iron Man or the Avengers? I think it was Iron Man. So this is coming from MCU Cosmic, and basically they said, much like the early references to Wakanda, a new rumor says we'll get a nod to Namor in Eternals. The rumor says that at some point in the movie, possibly a montage or something, we'll see the sinking of Atlantis on screen. It'll be good, but it just seems like, like in Black Panther, where right at the beginning, and it kind of shows you like what happened after the meteor hit Wakanda, and you got that quick anime. I've just got that in my head, something like that, which was okay, but there wasn't no real tough details in there. It's like,
I mean, if that's what we're gonna get, to be real,
I want more, man. We're done.
I'm not the kind of fan that's gonna be like, oh my god, like when Thor Ragnarok came out, the internet lost their shit when it had like Beta Ray Bill.
That's what I mean.
Beta Ray Bill. I was gonna say Beta Ray Bill, Ares, and what was it?
Ares, Beta Ray Bill, Man Thing.
See, I didn't even know it was Man, but to me, I didn't even care.
No, but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm tired of these little tigglers, man. These. Just do a whole like 2-3 minutes thing, not like some quick clip, like
something that you can miss like that. You if it was a thing where it's in the intro of the movie and you see the sinking, you could look down for your popcorn and then look up and just see water for whatever reason. Like, you could, it's things that you can miss. And I'm like,
wonder, man. I don't want to see that.
We don't want to. We're not happy about that. Give us some more material, people.
Give us more
material.
And
Easter eggs.
And that kind of small thing as well says to me that we've kind of put this in there, let's move on, kind of thing. It's like sometimes I feel like they won't do a Man Thing or a show or a film with Man Thing in it. They probably do Beta Ray Bill because people have been asking about it.
Taking for Beta Ray.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't. And they already did it anyway. They did it in Iron Man, like I said. Like on the map.
No, wasn't it Avengers? Someone had it on the Iron Man. It was Iron Man. It was on.
I'm sure it was Iron Man. And he had it on the screen.
It was Iron Man.
And it had like Wakanda. It had another dot in the middle of the ocean, and it had dots all over on the map and that.
So it's like,
don't tease us, man.
Basically. I was just gonna say, basically it's been done, so who cares?
Just move on and get on.
I'm not that geek. I'm not gonna be seeing a whole H in Comic Con and that scene you did with the water and the castle, it was brilliant. Will we see more of that? I ain't.
No, because the answer's gonna be no.
No,
it's gonna be no.
That's all you're getting.
That's all we get.
But, I do want to see. I do want to see Atlantis, though. I do want to see it.
I do want. You know what? If you want to see Atlantis, just go watch Aquaman. Like, period. I said it.
Watch the Atlantis film, which is really good.
Yeah, that I can't even say the word.
colonization.
That colonization movie. Watch that.
The animated one that Disney now own, because I think Fox did.
Yeah, Atlantis. I like that movie. I
love that movie. It's great.
Well,
Everybody had crystals. I was just happy. Like,
No, Atlantis was dope. I didn't watch the second one, but the first one was dope.
oh, all the second ones are trash. Anyway, let's move on.
Except for Return of Jafar, I have to say.
Really?
Yeah, all the Aladdin was the only one that did good sequels. The only one that did good sequels.
I
Go
don't
back
think
and
I've
watch
watched that. I might have to watch that.
I'm
Really?
looking at Atlantis, and I think I don't even remember. I remember seeing this poster, but I don't think I've actually seen it.
The reason
What's
is
the-
because
what's the-
that and Treasure Planet, to me, are like two dope Disney movies that people don't talk about.
Yeah. And Anastasia.
Oh, I love Anastasia.
Because that's what.
Princess.
I love
Yeah,
Anastasia.
yeah. But she was
She's
still
not Disney.
banging. I know. Now
That movie's sick. Don't get me wrong. I love that movie. That movie
yeah.
is
Now
sick.
she's Disney.
Don't talk to me
Before
about Anna. She Disney now.
Now she's Disney, yeah. And then who made Anastasia? Because I swear because I don't think Atlantis was Atlantis Disney.
Atlantis was Disney, but Anastasia.
Because I think she came
so
over. Everybody's
Google.
right now.
1997 movie.
Yeah, I think they
Did they?
bought it, or they have
Oh,
rushed it now.
Sugar Me by Day. Yeah, Fox.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
Disney
Fox.
now.
Yeah, it's Disney now.
She's
Yeah,
a Disney princess
she's
officially.
a Disney. So I can go as Comic-Con in a long trench coat.
Yeah. So
Like Disney
is
princess.
it on thingy though? Is it on Disney? I'm sure it probably won't be on Disney Plus, would it?
It should be.
Hopefully.
Yeah. If
I feel like I've seen an image of Anastasia recently and didn't even think anything of it. It might be on Disney Plus. I'm gonna check later and get back to you.
yeah, no, it should be. It should be. But watch Anastasia and watch Atlantis to the Bad Boys.
Alright.
It's great.
Alright, cool.
Sorry,
I don't even know what are you talking about. Atlantis, don't care unless it's something real. Do something real. Don't do it all.
There you go.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'll just watch that.
Is that the name of the title? Do something real, or don't do it at all?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
I'm gonna write it down.
Like
You can ask me later and I
I
forget.
know. I'm like, what?
What did I say again? Do something real.
At
don't
all.
do it all.
Yeah, it's just a habit of me saying, "Yo, what's the title of the episode, guys?"
I love it though. It's great.
No,
like,
it's fun. Yeah, it just gets me thinking.
Alright.
yeah. Alright, what
We
we got
don't have
next?
any
What we got
comic news today, unfortunately. Hopefully, we will next week because some comics should be coming back next week, I think, or the week after. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully we should have some more
know.
news to that. There are some solicitations going on, but we don't really talk about solicitations. But maybe we might do it next week if time suggests. And actually we might do it because this is Anyway, so let's talk about reviews. Reviews.
Who wants to go? Who's going first? Who's going first? My review is so short.
Okay.
Well, ladies first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Right. Okay. So I was on Netflix. I was bored. I watched Geostorm because I've literally nearly watched everything else. It was rubbish.
Oh, that explains the rolly eye emoji.
So basically, yeah. Okay, you know, do you remember that old school film? What was it? Where they had to burrow to go to the center of the Earth and restart the core of the planet.
Rings a bell.
No.
Remember you did the same thing. You're like,
Wait. Restart the core of the planet.
Yeah.
God.
And they had this big tube and they had to go through the Earth's tectonic plates and get to the core of the Earth and had to restart the Earth because the government... Anyway, it basically felt like that film. Like it felt so rushed, so old. Like it was just... Even though it had a lot of like good CGI and whatnot, good technology. So the basic premise of the film is that people have, effed up the planet, and now the weather is just doing a madness. Like, there's just hurricanes over here, earthquakes over here, but it's just doing a madness. So everybody around the world comes together with all their scientists, and they basically create this massive satellite system around the planet to combat any bad weather or any bad mad storms that happen because of the Earth. So basically, they're they basically built a massive storm, basically, from X-Men. So she controls the whole planet's Earth, weather system. And there are, what do you call it? Scientists in a space station, in space, manufacturing this thing. And it's called, what's it called? The thing's called Derek or some dumb name. I can't remember what the satellite system's called.
Yeah, acronym or something.
Dutch Boy.
Dutch Boy. That's what it's called. It's called Dutch Boy. Yeah. Because basically this boy who's in one of the massive storms, he plugged the hole with his finger and he was Dutch. Anyway, I can't. Anyway, so to Dutch.
Sounds absolutely riveting.
Yeah, it does, right? So obviously, and the guy from fucking, what do you call it? So Jared Butler's in there.
Yeah, Jared Butler's. I do like him,
Butler.
but I think he's doing so many films like this where it's just like, why? Why have we got? Why is this film?
Yeah, exactly.
Why have we got this film?
Exactly. The guy from
That
Umbrella
movie he did with 50
Academy.
Cent was
What
dope.
movie he did with 50
That
Cent?
was good.
That one, it's on Netflix. It's called I'll tell you later.
So yeah, Jared Butler, the guy who was in Umbrella Academy, the one who played the one who could see dead people. He's in it.
The one
He's a scientist.
from Misfits.
Yes, yeah, him. The girl who plays Domino, she's in it. And
Zazie Beats.
there we go.
I'm all about the names, man.
There's another woman in it. Oh, is it not Al Pacino? Oh, what's his name? It's one of them three guys. Not Al Pacino, not Robert De
Daniel
Niro.
Wu.
No.
Oh, Daniel Wu's in it. Oh,
No.
Daniel Wu's sick. I like it, man.
Oh, there we
No,
go.
Dan-
Yeah, there we go.
What's
You got
that?
messed up. One of these Italian people in it. He plays Italian characters all the time. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Andy Garcia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Edward Harris is in it as well. Ed Harris from Thingy.
So then,
Why is this film so shit then, man?
they've got.
Yeah.
I'm about So you would have thought there were a couple hard hitters in this film, and I would have thought, okay, this film's alright. No, it's
Serious?
just rubbish. Like the whole. You know when you're watching your film, you're like, he's the one who's double crossed everyone.
Yo, bastard, you just double crossed us.
Okay.
She just
he's
cheated on him.
like-
You cheated on me. I know
Yeah,
you
I mean,
cheated.
it's predictable. It's one of those ones that tries to be heartfelt, but it just isn't.
It's
Like
corny.
you kind of like, all right, cool. You want to sacrifice your life, and oh my god, there's this bit. Yeah, there's a character in there. I can't even. So Jared Butler goes up because he's the one who invented Dutch Boy, right? And then all of a sudden the system starts to f up, and then blah 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 blah. I'll let you lot watch it, and then you can do the roll eye emoji after you've watched it. But yeah, so like he goes back up to the space station. He's looking after Dutch Boy, and there's a scientist there, this woman, and she's from Germany, whatever. I swear to you, not everything she does, she's just staring at him. Like there's a bit where he's like having a monologue moment, like, oh no, the systems are gonna crash, and and she's just like, that's what she does. She just stares at him, and I'm like, are you actually good? Every time you watch, I'm just like, she just literally when you watch it, you're like, what the fuck is she just staring at him for? Has he got something in his hair? Like she doesn't. It's not like a thing of like, when someone's like, oh, we're in a lot of danger, and like you look at the person, and you're like, oh my god, like you're having like, oh my days. She just blatantly stares at him like at a point in his head, and just
She's
locks.
Just the actress herself is like, I can't believe I'm not Gerald.
Yeah, like that's basically it. And it stresses me out as an actor. I'm like, what is there? Is there a bug in his hair? Like, what the fuck is going? So, but anyway, yeah, the movie is just, it isn't. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't have it just doesn't have any sauce. It just doesn't have any sauce. There we go. Yeah, and the guy from fucking, what do you call it? You might have said his name, like from Westworld's in there
Edward
as well.
Harris.
So yeah, that's it. Yeah, but and then it's just like, yeah, it's just dry. It's a dry film. If I show you that film, something, the core to the center of the earth or some shit like that, I'm gonna send it to you, and then I want you to watch that film, and then I want you to watch Geostorm and be like, rah, that old film was a little bit better than this film. Like, so yeah, if you watch Geostorm, just 2 stars. 2 geeks.
A lot of older movies are better than the movies of today. Just because we've got CGI, better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but 2 geeks, man.
You sure 2? Not like 1.5 or something.
Then, I mean, just 1 and maybe 1.5. Yeah, it's just if you're bored and you're like,
right. Question, because earlier today we were talking about that Star Wars movie. I forgot what it's called. And you say, yeah, see, and you said, don't even bother watch it.
Star Wars
one?
movie.
The latest of the new trilogy. I can't remember what it's called.
The last one?
Yeah.
Oh, Return of Skywalker. Or
that one, whatever it's called.
The Rise of Skywalker.
So you said earlier to me, don't even bother watching it, because I said I was going to watch it. But then just now, when you were just, I want to say hating on this movie, but you down talking this movie, when you said watch it. So does that mean you prefer this movie? What's it called? Geostorm.
Geostorm.
Do you prefer Geostorm to that Star Wars movie?
Oh God, that's like asking me if I want to get shat on. Like I don't.
Well, you gotta pick one.
Literally, I feel like with Star Wars, I got shat on. Like by an elephant, like got really shat. With Geostorm, it's like
bollocks. That's what.
Yeah, like
that's what your brother say. Shorty B on the chats.
Yes. Yeah. Literally, trust me. If you ask my brother right now, to put an emoji of how he felt that film, it will be the shit side. Like, Geostorm is like, you know, when you get shot on by a little pigeon, it's still annoying because it's
I think with Star Wars, you're expecting it to be good. You want it to be good. It's the final one. There's so much going into it. But I mean, with Geostorm, I've not seen it, but with Gerard Butler's films at the moment, they kind of have this same kind of thing going on, which I don't like, and some kind of not cheapness to it, but just kind of, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what type of
cheapness is the right word. Yeah, it's just like it's cheap. Even though it looks expensive, it's cheap. You know what I mean? And when you're watching a Netflix film, I don't expect like an amazing thing, because obviously it's not a blockbuster, it's just Netflix. But you know, even when I watched Extraction, I was like, "Ooh, this is an all right film." Like it's not like, you know what I mean. But with this,
it's good, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm just like, cool, like that's a good film. Like Geostorm is like, I just watched Midnight Gospel. And like,
I'm on episode 3 of that. Actually, I need to finish watching episode 2, but.
Midnight Gospel is great.
I am taking a break from that because I'm taking a break from other stuff.
Yes, that's right.
Alrighty then. Clone Wars Series 2, series finale. That was sick. I really loved that. We kind of spoke about it earlier.
Den of Thieves.
Yeah, Den of Thieves.
What's Den of Thieves?
Sorry, Rich.
See, I told you. What did I tell you earlier?
What?
You got nothing to review.
No, I'm not reviewing that. I'm just saying that's the movie that was with Gerard Butler and 50 Cent.
There we go. Okay.
But after your review, I do want to just have a quick
expression moment.
Expression on Black Lighting.
Okay.
Alright.
Go ahead, Rich.
We pretty much said a lot of Star Wars stuff today anyway, but from what I'll say is we still got this list of our favourite animated episodes.
Yes.
But I would say this. Clone Wars.
Sorry, I was only joking.
Good.
Clone Wars was sick. This season finale is what Star Wars, the last bollocks, should have been. This is how you end the Star Wars saga. This is how you do it. Thank you. I would just like to say thank you. Thank you.
That's probably the best review I've ever heard or seen.
I know.
I just
no
don't
words needed.
I kind of don't want to spoil it, and everything came in place, and you kind of feel. I don't want to spoil it because you haven't. All right,
please spoil it.
Basically, with Clone Wars,
I want you to spoil it because I was actually looking forward to this. I don't mind. I already know some stuff. I don't know anything about the ending, but
so with
just
Clone
go
Wars,
for it.
You've got the clone troopers, and the whole thing about the clone troopers is throughout the whole series, you kind of get to know them, you kind of get to see them, and Rex. You know, you got all different types of troopers, and throughout the series, there's some that you see, you meet, and they die. There's some where they go on a mission and they find a trooper that's defected and started a family and stuff like that. This episode was kind of hard to watch as well because as soon as that Order 66 comes, and it is just mad because it's just Ahsoka stuck on this. Anyway, alright,
Like,
sorry.
Is she just stuck with a bunch of clones by herself? What?
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
I know I'm watching tonight.
Don't watch that episode. If you're gonna do that, then you need to, because basically what they did as well.
No, I'm not gonna watch that. I'm watching Clone Wars tonight, just in general. Why?
Alright, let me tell you something. Yeah, this. If they, I'm in two phases whether I want them to do an Ahsoka series or not, because, like I said, it's a perfect ending. And if they do an Ahsoka series, it could. You still got it anyway. There's no, there's no getting away from it. You still got it, but there's a risk of them ruining it, because once something's really good, you kind of don't get it back. But that makes me want to see more Ahsoka, because this kind of she's grown now, man. She is a woman. She's a Jedi-ish, and. I just want to see more Ahsoka, and I actually want to see more of the clones as well, to be honest, man. I do want to see more of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, this season finale, if you can watch it, if you don't even want it, if like Karen, I know you're still in the middle of watching it, but if you haven't watched it, you just want to see this, I would say watch I think it's the last 4 episodes are kind of a run. So it kind of, they changed the intro, they've changed the font, everything. But yeah, man, these last 4 episodes, like I said, our favorite animated episodes, Clone Wars. That one of those episodes is in my list because that episode was so sick, man. And this finale, bad, nuts. It got me back into Star Wars, man. Honestly. So yeah.
I got something for you, Rich.
Oh! We got some Clone Warsian.
Ooh,
Got the lightsaber.
is that Ahsoka's one? Oh, it actually looks pretty good on the.
It looks good on the. You need to have the Star Wars now at the back of your head, like at all times,
Nice.
We know what we're getting at Comic Con this year, next year.
Black Jedi.
And these are made to fight with too.
Woohoo! Oh yeah.
So,
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So we know you've seen the Greg Berlanti show, you've seen Arrow, and you've seen The Flash, yeah? And they proper go in on the whole people being gay, yeah? They go in. It's like, and I get it. There are gay people. Gay people are everywhere. People are gay. If you want to be gay, be gay. Yeah? That's what they're doing with, say, Arrow and The Flash. Then Supergirl came out, and it was all about being a woman, and I'm a woman, man. I'm a woman, and I'm not as good as you are. I'm better than you because I'm a woman. Even though that was a very manly voice. And then they did the thing where they threw in a transgender woman or a transgender man. I forget the difference, but whatever. There's a person that was born something else and did something different. Whatever. That's Supergirl, yeah?
Okay.
FYI, Supergirl, her sister is the worst character in the entirety of the CW series. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about Supergirl. So then we got Black Lightning, still Greg Berlanti. So they go hard on gay in Arrow and Flash. They go hard on women's rights. Boy, in Black Lightning, they are going ham.
That's why I stopped watching. That's why I couldn't watch it, man.
Stress.
Boy, they're going ham.
Stress. It's best stress. It's just stress, man.
Black. I'm like,
and we're black people. Yeah, sometimes
it's too much.
That's why I
stopped watching it.
I think I'm like a very, very I honestly, like, I ain't cutting my hair for nobody. I'll rock shit whenever, I don't care. Very proud, half Jamaican, half Asian man here. If I could join the Black Panthers today, please believe I'll be joining the Black Panthers today. Now,
that being said,
Like, I'm watching this show, and it's just like, okay. And the reason, because obviously black people aren't. I mean, I think some of the writers make me black, but it's not. I feel like they're being told by Greg Berlanti, go harder, be more. Because I don't feel like a black person, if they were running the show, would do it like look at Luke Cage. Luke Cage is a perfect example on Netflix. Mm-hmm. It's very pro-black, but it's not like Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Like, seriously, when I actually heard that line in an episode. By the way, I'm not even on season 3 yet, so I'm behind. I'm just catching up.
You're further than me.
Do you know what it is? I'm so bored. I'm so bored, and every time I get that bored, I always go back to Black Lightning, man. And I just and I like looking at black people.
Yeah.
So
can I just tell the viewers? Sorry, yeah. If Kieran was watching this show middle of the night, he said the funniest voice in the group chat. He was just like, "Okay, I'm watching Black Lightning. Is anybody gonna actually fight?" Like,
yeah. So I'm watching an episode. I'm watching it because I tried to justify this. I thought, you know what, being black in the UK is not as it's not like being black in America. Mm-hmm. Now we have our problems. I don't want anyone to try. If you try to tell me different, I'm gonna tell you about yourself.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
We do have it hard out here.
Yeah.
But I do know in America, like the stuff they go through with the police is on a different level than what we go through with the police. Mm-hmm. And so I thought to myself, well, maybe that's what it is. They have to put that out there. But then I thought to myself, no, I'm justifying this bullshit. Mm-hmm. It happened, and it's great that they have a superhero in, because there's some scenes where it's like dumb shit happens with black people, and it's nice that there's a superhero there. I can't even remember where it was. There was a situation where Black Lightning's eldest daughter showed up, and I was like, now that's dope to have a black superhero in a hood in that moment. But for the most part, everything is like, be a superhero, basically. Be a fucking superhero. Yeah. I'm just like sitting here watching a superhero show, and in this one episode, I actually forgot. I got so into the bullshit. I thought I may as well have been watching When They See Us.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I couldn't get past the first couple of episodes in the first season. I couldn't do it.
It's hard. I have help.
Man says I have a sponsor. I
have a sponsor. I have help, but like,
there's only so much rum you can drink.
Boy, I don't really have much to say on this. It's that they just go ham. It's Greg Berlanti. It's like he's this white guy who wants to be on all sides of every issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wants to be. He's like, I'm pro feminism and I'm pro LGBTQ letters. Let me throw a transgender in there. Oh, throw some black people and just say Black Lives Matter in the show every other episode. Like, seriously. I was telling you guys this before the episode. There's this one character called Khalil. He goes bad because he loses his leg, so he's like, oh, I want revenge. Then he becomes good again, but then he dies. But then he dies.
Oh, he did? Alright, cool.
But no, he came back.
Unspoiler.
It's comic books. But he dies. He dies. And then the school puts up a mural. Now, them having their white principal, you guys didn't get there. Jefferson Pierce isn't the principal anymore. So they got their white principal, and he's like, take it down. Take this down. I want it down now. Now. And the kids are like, but it's Khalil. He was a student here. He was our friend. No, take it down. And then Jennifer, who was actually going out with him, she starts a protest, which I'm fine. Do your protest. She's sitting down.
We always protest, don't we?
And
that was my shade, and I was here for every piece of the shade.
And then the principal's like, what are you doing? Get up. What is this? He says, I'm protesting. This is a thing for Khalil. No, you can't do that. Security. And then the whole school, bear in mind, it's like a black school. It's a black neighborhood. It's a black school. And they all show up. And it's like, yeah, we're down with Khalil. Oh my goodness. So,
man.
She says, you don't like us, do you? Oh, blah, 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 the principal, blah. No, you don't like us because and you don't like Khalil because we're black. And then she actually says, you're a racist, which is fine. I think people should be called on being a racist. I feel like as black people, we don't tell people when they're being racist. I'm going to start doing that more often, to be honest. Anyway. Anyway. She's like, no, you're a racist. And he's like, oh, I'm just trying to blah, 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 blah. And she's like, and she drops the line, no. And then she's got her crowd. She's like, Black Lives Matter. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
It's just too much.
Just wear a t-shirt. Wear a t-shirt. And
it's too much.
And then, oh my days, this is the best part of this bullshit. I think after this bit is when I told you guys, they kneeled. She got taken by security and they kneeled like it was fucking Colin Kaepernick.
I
was fussing up like, why are you kneeling? This ain't a football game.
Just like, and you've got superpowers.
I don't know, man.
And then Jefferson Pierce shows up. I do like this bit, this one bit. Jefferson Pierce shows up, Black Lightning as Jefferson Pierce. And the head principal was like, can you please tell these students to go back to class? And he's like...
I just love how he laughs every time he's about to say something. He's
like, sounds like the job of the principal to me. And awarded off.
Oh, but did anybody do any superhero fighting in this episode?
But that's what was funny about it. As I'm watching it, I'm like, just be a superhero. And then like 10 minutes later, it was either the daughter or Black Lightning himself suit up. I was like, oh yeah.
What you was watching?
Seriously.
Oh my days. That's too much.
So yeah.
That's too much.
I didn't have anything to review, but I just thought I had to talk about Black Lightning.
Yeah, you definitely reviewed that, man. You certainly reviewed that.
All those who can stomach watching Black Lightning, well done.
I can't watch that.
I just want to make very clear that I believe in the whole Black Lives Matter thing.
Of course, yes.
Just, like, don't play me, but
yeah.
Just fight somebody. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, just be a superhero, right? If you're the Flash, run. If you're Arrow, shoot some arrows. I haven't watched Batwoman. That's probably a feminist as shit, but
I haven't watched that either.
Do you know what? I've actually stopped watching, not deliberately, but I've kind of just stopped watching all the Berlanti stuff at the moment. Since the Crisis, I've just not caught up with anything.
Well, I'm actually catching up on the last season of Arrow because I have to. It's the last season of Arrow.
Yeah, I finished that.
And I'm watching
Arrow.
Yeah, and I'm watching the current season of The Flash. But I'm just trying to watch these shows until Batwoman catches up, so that they've got Crisis. And then once I watch Crisis, I'll finish Arrow, but I'm done.
Yeah.
I also, that's it. So that was
all right.
Power to the people.
Oh Lord, poor thing. I can't. That not taking off my watch list. Like I was like, nope.
You know what? I'm glad that I watched it. I really am. I'm glad that I'm aware of the show. And
watch Cannon Busters instead.
Anyway.
Okay,
But I'm enjoying Black Lightning on the level of the bullshit, if it makes sense. It's like it's funny to watch, if that makes sense.
Okay, all right. Let's move on.
Black Lives Matter. Right, what's that?
Our favourite animated episodes, part 2. Okie dokie. So, last week we talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Beetlejuice, Batman, Batman the animated series, X-Men the animated series, and Gargoyles. And
I always love that part of music where Glass climbs.
Now, as you can tell with this list, is obviously not a favourite. Actually, after we should probably do our favourites, but this is not a favourites list, as in the best to the worst. This is just a list from the years it was made. So now we're on to 1994. There's actually quite a few from 1994. We've got Gargoyles. The next one we've got is Are Real Monsters.
That was a dope show.
I love that show.
That was
Is this Isha's?
Huh?
This is yours, Isha.
Yeah.
I have to ask, who's your favorite character?
It was the one with
Yeah,
the
he
two
was funny.
eyes, and he held his eyes.
Crumb.
Yeah.
Crumb was sick, yeah.
I
Do you know
loved
what?
him.
Crumb was a
He
bad
was, man.
influence, you know.
I know, that's
You
why
wanna
I
know
liked
why?
him.
Because I would purposely not shower because of Crumb. He was such a bad influence.
Oh my god, I loved him, and he was just. They were all great, but just. It was like when that first came out, and I was like, okay, cool, this is brilliant. Like just monsters coming up and just scaring people. And then when Monsters Inc. came out, I was like, this is basically if our real monsters. This just a good version of our real monsters, basically.
They kind of
But
stole
I was
the
like,
idea, kind of thing, man.
I feel like our real monsters is them in school, and like Monsters Inc. is when they go to when they start working, they enter the workforce.
Yeah.
Sorry,
no,
go on.
Our real monsters it's just been great. Like I think. I can't remember the episode like offhand. I should have like actually redone it, but just Crumb was obviously Crumb was my favorite. Like he had his eyes. He was just bare mysterious.
Sorry. Do you remember his dad lost his eye, so he would wear a black glove to say that he was blind in one eye?
He was great. He was just great, and he's always sniffing himself. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And he just caused him bare trouble. Like he's like you said, he was the worst influence, the instigator. And you'd never think like whenever there's a character like that, you always think of him like as the dopey. Oh, let's do that. When he was the one like everybody was like, oh, just do this, and he was like, why don't we do this? Yeah, no, that's a good idea. No, yeah, we should do that. It's a bad idea, but maybe if we come up through the toilet and then they vomit on the child. And then, like, I can throw my eyeball at them, and then that will scare them and their parents. Like, that's a weird. It's like he put ideas into other people's heads and be like, no, that's a good idea. We should do that idea. Come, let's do that idea. Like, I just love the whole ethos of it, and it was bad. It was just bad. There was nothing good about any of these characters, even though some of them tried to be good. It's just there was nothing good. They were just monsters, and I just loved that they were monsters, and they were dirty and disgusting, and I just loved it. Like you can kind of tell what kind of like cartoons are like. They're like fucked up.
No, but that's the thing. I think during this year, during this time period, we had loads of effed up cartoons, like real monsters.
Yeah, we did.
Even like Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy was terrible.
Ren and Stimpy. I feel like Invader Zim was the last of those.
That's one I didn't. That is one I didn't watch.
The reason you missed out on that one because I think I started watching that one when I turned like 18, 19. So I was like coming behind. But Invader Zim was the last one. But we had so many like that. We had Ren and Stimpy, Our Real Monsters.
The Beavers, Angry Beavers.
Like back in the day, Nickelodeon had the grimy. Nickelodeon was known for those grimy cartoons. If you wanted grimy cartoons, you go to Nickelodeon. And I think it's such a shame, like having a kid, and like they do it on purpose. Like cartoons are so soft. Look what they did to Teen Titans. Look what they did to look what they've done to Thundercats. Look what they've done to She-Ra. Like they're really trying to make kids soft these days and
bring back Nickelodeon.
But anyway,
bring back
Nickelodeon. Classic.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was your favorite episode? Sorry, go on.
I can't remember my favorite episode, but I know Crumb was involved and he was doing a madness. But I just remember him coming out of the toilet.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I just remember him coming out of the toilet. And I just loved him. Like I just love him, and I just love everything he does. But no, I love Our Real Monsters, and I like the fact that it's called Our Real Monsters. It's not like we got to call it. You have to say Real Monsters. Like
the actual intro was Real Monsters. I loved. Do you remember? So their currency was toenails. Not fingernails. Specifically, human toenails was their currency.
Yes, and they used to collect bits. Oh my god, I loved it. I remember
there was one episode. They had come up a toilet, and they were in someone's house, and this person just collected toenails. Like he would cut his toenails and keep them in the jar. So they're like, "Oh my god, we're rich!" So they stole the toenails.
No, I love that show. I definitely.
Yeah, I did too.
It was just one of those ones.
It had some real shit as well, because like you got Crumb, who's like, I think Crumb his dad was supposed to be like a dropout kind of character. So
Yeah.
the Grumble, is it the Grumble? Yeah, the Grumble didn't really check for Crumb. He thought that he was going to be just like his dad. Ickis, his dad was a legend. Remember Ickis, the little one that they used to
The
call
blue
bunny?
one, yeah.
He was his dad was a legend, so they expected so much.
Yeah.
From Ickis. And I always remember in like the early episodes, he was like he couldn't even grow big, but later on he became quite like a scary
Like a
monster.
hench, like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
her her lips. She just used to turn her lips.
Yeah.
inside out.
She used to be funny, but I liked her, man.
Yeah. She was like the genius of the crew. She was like the proper, one of the smartest girl in class, and she would just always pass all her exams. And do you remember when they would get detention, they'd have to go to the... I forgot. It was just this giant monster. You'd hear about him, and then when you finally see him, it was just this big monster with like a bumblebee guy with like a foot coming out of his
Yes.
and like all he did was sing opera. That was detention.
I feel like this was like Harry Potter before Harry Potter mixed with, you know, like when in Beetlejuice the movie, when they had to do all those scary things to like scare people out there. It was kind of mixed with that. So it was like before all of that started, like real monsters like had that kind of intention. It was just
like people born, say maybe in the mid to late 90s or even the 2000s, because I think 2000s kids would be 20 right now, right? So if they're only 2000s kids, you missed out.
Yeah, so
I'm telling you. You might be like, oh, you guys always say that. No, the 90s and the 80s were the best.
It was.
Yeah,
you missed out.
You
got regular show. I'll give you regular show and Adventure Time. But besides that.
Oh, and something Creek with the brother and sister. That's not bad. What's
is that one of the latest one? Yeah, I know which one it's with the black family, isn't it? They play cards. I know what you're talking about.
No, and there's another one with the two siblings, and they go to like a cabin with their uncle, and
Gravity Falls. Yeah, that was sick.
That's Gravity Falls is a good show.
Sick. And if you watch Rick and Morty, I really think you should go back and watch Gravity Falls as well.
Gravity Falls is a good, but that's like a niche kind of unusual thing, and it's a little bit like, oh, okay, we're doing a bit more. Funny
thing is, Gravity Falls would fit right in the 90s back in the Nickelodeon. When I found out that cartoon existed like in around this time, I was like, what? Okay,
it's a Disney show as well,
and that's the thing, it's Disney. It's like
so is it on Disney Plus then? Oh, sweet. I'll watch it then. Oh, sick. Sick.
Definitely watch it as well. If you watch, obviously it's not going to be as grimy as the shows back then, but it's
not bad.
It's a cartoon that has a story, which a lot of cartoons just don't do these days. They have no story. It drives me nuts. Just watching an episode for no reason. It drives me.
Gravity Falls is kind of like the new age of kind of grime, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I know we're getting into grime, but no, our Real Monsters, I think, just set a precedent, and Monsters Inc. took all of that, and I wish it's like, obviously you're never going to get that from Pixar, because Pixar have to be nice and lovely, but just to have monsters that are actual monsters and are happy to be monsters and are growing up to be the horrible things that they are, but to them they're just normal, collecting toenails and boogers and and trading them on the black market is great. So if you get a chance to watch Real Monsters, I love Real Monsters.
All right.
Next one is this, because man, we do go on these.
So,
I know. I'm gonna try and keep this very yes. Go ahead.
Next one is Spider-Man animated from 1994.
Oh lord.
Okay.
All right.
Rich, go for it.
Because I got some notes on this one as well.
Okay, so my favorite episode was The Night of the Lizard. The first episode. The reason why is because I'm a visual guy, and the first episode, the animation was perfect. The way Spider-Man moved, it was sick. But
we had never seen him move like that in anything.
We'd never seen him move like that in anything before, and I feel like until I think it was when he had the fight with Dr. Octopus, maybe, that we didn't see him move like that since. One scene that I really love is when he's fighting a lizard, where he's he's by the Connor's house. The lizard is by the Connor's house, and Spider-Man catches him, and they have that little fight by the tree, and Spider-Man's trying to take pictures of him, and
because you need to get the pictures. Or
and there's one scene where Spider-Man's web slinging between a tree, and you see the camera move, and the way he just is talking, and the way he just it stops, he thwips, the web shooter goes out, and he's just that little animation there was perfect. The way he moves, his stance, and everything. So that. I love that, and from that episode onwards, I still love the series, I still love the show, but I felt like I didn't get that again, if you know what I mean. I didn't get that style, I didn't get that pilot style again. So for me, the story was good as well, even the way it started with him on top of the gargoyle, him going down, shooting down, going down to the car that's lost control. He's cracking jokes. He saves them. You know, that whole episode for me was like pretty much perfect, and was like, yeah, Spider-Man. This is his back. His back is better, and he's looking sick. Honorable mention would be the Venom, when Venom came in. That was a sick episode, and I remember I was recording it off a bit of piracy here, but I was recording it off Fox Kids, and
no, it was on Sky One.
Was it on Sky One?
It was on DJ Cat.
Are you sure it was
It
was
DJ Cat, bro. I remember back we didn't have when you were bringing it to over our house on where we lived on East Street, by your mum. Fox Kids wasn't even a thing back then. I remember when Fox Kids came out.
Yeah.
So it was.
So why did I watch it on then?
It was on Sky One. It was on Sky One, and there was this show called DJ Cat, and it would show like Beetleborgs, Power Rangers, X-Men, and Spider-Man in the mornings. And you used to record it from there.
What did it come on before that?
No, that was it.
That was where it started in this country. That's where it started.
Really?
Now, I don't know for people who didn't have Sky, I don't know if it came on terrestrial TV at all, but I don't think it did, because Rich used to bring it on, like he said, he used to record it and bring it over, so I don't think it was even on TV. You must have been either watching it on tape, Isha, or you had Sky.
So
probably. I might have had Sky.
So that one thing I did, and I got pretty good at doing it, because I used to do this with X-Men, and a few others, we used to do this all the time. We had Sky for time anyway. I'm baiting myself out now, but
hey man,
it's where you're recording a program, and the commercial comes on, and you got to pause it at a right time.
You pause it,
and then when it comes on, you got to unpause it,
press play. Because remember, you'd borrow tapes from people, and they would record the ads. Used to drive me. I think you were the first person who I knew who did that. So when I borrowed tapes from other people and they recorded the ads, it used to drive me nuts.
Because we only had like tapes that were. It was like 4 hours if you recorded long version, or 3 hours.
Oh, version 6 hours on.
Yeah, on long play and short play is 3 hours. So you can either do 2 films. You can just about get 2 films. If it's one of those dirty those films that were 2 hours long, you're effed. You're effed. So but that particular episode with Venom. Yeah,
Venom.
And because I remember when it came off when it was the last scene before the advert, he was hanging upside down on the building.
Yeah, I remember.
And then it paused it, and then it came back, and it's seamless, man. It was so seamless. I was so proud of myself then, man.
See, look,
you remember doing that. You're sitting. I remember them days. You're sitting at the TV waiting. You can't go nowhere. You can't quickly go make it, because you can't miss it.
Nope.
Sick, man. Sick.
It's too funny.
See, look, Rich was an editor from then. Should have known. Like, there you go.
So
that was commitment right there.
Right.
Go on, Kieran. Go on.
My favorite. Now, you went in on like the animation and the way he moved. One of the reasons I love this show, I'm a bit of a softie, so this show had so much emotion to it, like crazy emotion. So my favorite 2 episodes. Yeah, he knows where I'm going with this. My first favorite episode is Turning Point. This is when the Green Goblin realizes that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. He's using the time dilation accelerator portal thing. And I always remember this slide. He forces Harry and Peter aren't talking because Harry feels that Peter stole Mary Jane. Mm-hmm. And Norman Osborn invites all Harry's friends round, and Peter's like, "Oh, Harry, you invited me." It's like, "Yeah, my dad said I should." I don't know. And then it's like, "Peter Parker." Now the party can really begin. He shakes his hand. He's like, "Oh." It's like, he crushed my hand if it wasn't for my Spanish friend. And then throughout the whole dinner party, Norman Osborn is just baiting Peter Parker's like, "I bet you two have been conspiring and to get together for some time." I'm like, who conspires? Like, that show really showed how insane Norman Osborn was. Like, his mind snapped. Who conspires to get together? Do you get what I mean? And like, Peter Parker realizes that Norman Osborn knows who he is, so he takes his web cartridges, throws them in the fireplace. Boom! Explosion. God knows how he's going to explain that to the fire department when they're like, "Oh, there seems to be some sort of webbing in your apartment." Anyway, they get into a fight. Norman Osborn kidnaps. How does it happen? I'm just going to skip to the bridge. They're on the bridge. My favorite and another favorite line is like, "Now, let's try this tango again." And then they're rocking it out. Mary Jane, for some reason, is on the bridge. The time dilation accelerator portal thing is flipping around, open. And Mary Jane falls in.
As she does.
That scene where it's like, the Green Goblin is just laughing. It's like, "You think this is a game, Osborn?" It's not.
And he goes ham on it,
I love that scene. Yeah, that was the woman I loved. You're about to know what that means. And he's just like that. And it's like, and then he's like, the voice actor who plays Peter Parker Spider-Man is just
brilliant.
To me, he's like the he is. To me, he's like the Kevin Conroy. No one else can do it as good as him. And the way his I love his no. And then like, so he beats up the Green Goblin gets sucked into the portal, but then he's like, he sees Mary Jane fall over the bridge. So he's diving and he's like looking for her, and he's like, he can't find her. So help me, I can't find her. The emotion in that episode, like I felt that I don't know how old I think I was single digits. I feel like that cartoon taught me emotion, like, because I wasn't seeing that in He-Man.
I think the only thing I would say that, because I know what episode you're talking about, and it kind of did upset me in a sense, because one thing that I didn't like about the series was that it had Mary Jane and not Gwen Stacy.
Stacy.
So that scene on the bridge, I was like,
because that was it was a parody of,
and she didn't fall and break her neck. She went through the time thing as well.
Well, the thing about that cartoon, which I learned as I got older, and when I learned it and went back, you couldn't punch. Yeah. So you would see Spider-Man kicking people a lot, and they just wanted it to be. Just the thing is, I was just complaining earlier about how cartoons these days are soft. That cartoon managed to be soft but still be hard.
They worked around
it. Whereas cartoons nowadays are just soft. And Spider-Man cartoons now, like, don't talk to me about the latest Spider-Man.
I'm kind of interested because they got a lot of the stuff that's happening. Like, they got the Carnage stuff. They got quite a few things that's happening, but it's not. I
feel like. I think with Ultimate Spider-Man, that one had potential. I remember seeing the trailer to that one, and me and my brother were so excited. And then we saw it, and it was like, "This is mad childish. It's so kiddie." And then there's few episodes. Like, I've watched a few sagas in that show, so it's not that bad, but it's still nowhere near the '94 cartoon. And Spectacular Spider-Man was better than Ultimate Spider-Man. The current one, I watched quite a few episodes when it started, and it's like they were so focused on having. So we've got Spider-Man. Now let's have a Spider-Woman. Now let's have another Spider. They went. It's like they were just too focused on having Spider people. And I feel like because Marvel Comics did Spider-Verse, everybody just wants to do Spider-Verse.
That's what they're
doing. And you don't
now.
know why you're doing Spider-Verse as well. Like,
exactly.
There's a reason why there's a Spider-Verse.
Yeah, there's a reason why, but it's
not like there's like a local, Sainsbury's locals all over the damn place. There's a reason, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's. I get what you're saying. No, it's a bit.
But going to, so I get why you don't check for that one, Rich. But that show just took me emotion. My second favorite episode, so I want to try and keep this brief, is Hydro Man Part 2. Another emotional episode. Like this one.
Yeah,
I shed tears on this episode. I've literally shed tears on this
I
episode.
felt bad for
I'm watching it by
Hydro
myself.
Man.
Well,
I
that's
like
the
when
thing.
I watch it by myself.
It wasn't even the real Hydro Man. It was a clone. So when he was going around saying we're made for each other, you then find out Mary Jane has hydro powers. And you're like, wait. I remember watching that for the first time. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
How are you going to explain this? Why can she do that? Why the hell? And I didn't know that they were going to do the Clone Saga. But anyway, that's the whole different thing. That episode where just this one scene, the one scene where Hydro Man is even his emotion was brilliant. He's like, no, if you do it properly, you should have never done it at all. And he's like, you know what I mean? That was sick. And then he disappears. And he's like, I love you, Red. Like he really did. It was sick. It was sick, malicious love, but he loved her. It was crazy. He just couldn't get over her. FYI, there was an episode of the Fantastic Four, the 90s cartoon, where Hydro Man was in it.
I don't remember
know if you guys
that,
remember that. Anyway, I remember that.
You are the library of
I was connecting the dots from day. I was connecting the dots from day one.
If we ever do a trivia quiz, like, and
you're coming on it, man.
Who remembers? I'll be like, I'm just looking. Yeah, I'm just looking at you. I'm looking at you for certain things, and just look at. That's it.
But anyway,
go ahead.
So Hydro Man is now disintegrated, evaporated. Sorry, and then it's like Peter Parker sees that and he looks around. It's like Mary Jane, and she's like, oh! That scene where she basically said, if any part of me was anything like the real Mary Jane Watson, she loves Peter Parker more than anything in the world. And it's like, no! And the place is flooding, and it's like, he lost her twice. Twice.
Sad, man.
Peter
Parker, man, he never catches a break.
That Peter Parker...
Never.
They don't, man. They don't.
Like, I have to say, thinking about it now, the latest movie where it feels like everything's coming up roses and sunshine. He's got the girl, he's beat the bad guy, and then Jameson comes on TV and exposes it. That is the Parker luck in true tradition.
Just when you think everything's going good for you, it just F's up, man.
Yeah. But it's so Peter Parker, and it's just like...
I love that scene in the movie, by the way. Sorry, I'm just gonna it aired, and you just see it like, what? Like that was proper comic book form, like when he's Marty. What? Like you just had.
That's the thing. Like even with the pilot episode, the animation, the artwork looked more like why am I forgetting? I had his name in my head. McFarlane kind of. It looked really like McFarlane kind of artistry there, but. Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man animated is probably the best Spider-Man animated show. It is the best.
I also have
it is
mention, which is the Six Forgotten Warriors, when they introduced the Wizard, the Black Marvel, and blah 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 blah, and Captain America. When Captain America steps out of that portal. And just tackles the Red Skull. Oh my days! I was so excited, like shit.
Nice.
So yeah, that's my favorite 2 episodes. And Six Forgotten Warriors is definitely mine. And again, it was really, really hard to pick because there's too many. And
I actually got to re-watch them as well, man.
Watching them as an adult is brilliant. I have to say, really
I know. Going back and watching some of these shows, like. I really do. I think you've said this before. Like, I really do appreciate just all the adult content in there, but with the childhood, like it's almost like they were thinking ahead of like we know that these children are going to be adults, and we still want you lot to enjoy everything that we've been teaching you, and learn some more things as an adult when you rewatch this. It's like
I know it's a bit out of the context of what we're talking about, but there's this podcast I listen to called Shat the Movies, and that's the kind of thing that they do as well. They do like a subject, and you got to choose like different movies in this subject, and then they'll go back and rewatch the movie. But the movies that they do are all like 80s, early 90 films. So it's films that we know about, films that we would have watched back in the days, like Groundhog Day, like
Groundhog Day.
Ghostbusters, all our early films, and they would rewatch it, and they'll just talk about it in the context of now and how it is back then. They'll give you a bit of history about what was going on with the production, maybe if there was something going on, and it's just watching it with new eyes and seeing what they could get away with then and what you can't get away with now, and them just having a real honest thing about it. And sometimes it's like that with these cartoons as well. Like when you're watching them again, like you said, back then we didn't realize that you couldn't say murder, kill, and all this. But then,
they would always. I was thinking about this just the other day. They would always say destroy. Yeah, it was always, and I never understood.
Destroy. It's like, you know, they're not going to blow them up. I mean, when I think of destroy, I think of something being blown up into smithereens and stuff.
Yeah, something being smashed or something. Or baseball bat. Let me destroy this.
But yeah, it's like a new appreciation when you rewatch these, and that's one thing I'm loving with. Well, I've started to watch the old Amazing Spider-Man, the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I started rewatching that. So, I really appreciate it.
I love getting up in the morning. It's funny. The cartoons that we grew up on, to my memory, they were on at like prime time. But if you wanted to watch something like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, you had to go
early.
Oh yeah, you had to get 7 o'clock.
Mad early to watch those.
I was there with a bowl of cereal, cold milk, cornflakes. Let's do this. Like it was no joke. It was a religious thing. Like it was a religious thing.
I remember we tried to get out of bed, and my mum's working. She's like, "Go back to bed." I'm like, "So we're like in bed. Has it been long? Can we get up now?"
All right. So next one. Okay. 2001 is one that I picked. Is Samurai Jack. Now, I got two favorite ones here now. So if you don't know, Samurai Jack is about a samurai who got pulled into the time stream because he tried to kill this god called, it's pretty much a god called Aaahh. Cool. Actually, the intro says it really well.
The intro is very one of the dopest intros to a cartoon ever. It should definitely probably be in a
top 10. Definitely.
Like a top list. If they did top 50
intros,
that should
like we need to do that later.
This is what Samurai Jack is. Long ago in a distant land, I, Aaahh, the shape-shifting master of darkness, unleashed the unspeakable evil. But a foolish samurai warrior, wielding a magic sword, stepped forth to oppose me. Before the final blow was struck, I tore open a portal in time and flung him into the future, where my evil is law. Now the fool seeks to return to the past and undo the future that is Aaahh. Right.
I have to say, well done on the voice acting.
Yes, well done.
Samurai Jack, this is like, I think this is, it's very hard to say. This and X-Men has got to be my favourite animated series to date, man. Yeah.
Damn.
Wow. I just love the concept of it. I love that every episode it's a kind of a mix of what we had when we was young. Not everything was serialized, but everything kind of is serialized with Samurai Jack. So every episode is different. He meets different people, meets different surroundings, but he's still doing the same mission. And what they did a couple years ago, because they did this series. I can't remember what it finished up on back then, but then they went back and finished it. It's a bit like Clone Wars, where they went back and did the last series and finished the story. And I'm telling you, man, I cried at the end of this. I cried at the end of this.
It was painful.
Again, it was one of those shows that just has heart.
And if there was any movie or any kind of dream movie or series that I would love, it would be this. this is my
Yeah.
favorite, perfect story kind of thing. I would do something like going into the past and going through the different histories and different stuff in the past. But I love this concept, and
You know, I'm glad you got that. You got that with Samurai Jack, because I loved Young Justice season 1 and 2. I don't know if you finished them. And then we got it back, and it wasn't even the best season, and it's like it was just a bunch of kids on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's what season 3 was.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you got it. I really am.
Yeah, Samurai Jack, my favorite series. It was hard to choose an episode.
I know what my favorite one is.
I've kind of got two. The first one is Samurai versus Samurai. I love the look.
Yeah.
Is that with the robot samurai?
No, I don't think. No, I'm sure I got the right one, but this one was where it changes to black and white. And you got Jack in white, and you got his evil side in black, and it's just the black and white silhouette, and they're fighting, and just the animation, the look of it, it looks amazing, man. It looks spectacular. And then you've got the Jack and the three blind archers.
Oh yeah, the dogs on the top of the
that one was sick as well. And I love the concept of him trying to get to the tower, and there is a
just like
as soon as
and they're like moving around like trying to listen for him.
As soon as he steps out, they shoot. So he has to try and be one with the surroundings, and it's
Samurai Jack's a good pick, man. No, I'll just to interject on that. My favorite episode, just because it's fucking funny, is him and the Scottish guy.
The Scotsman is
Hilarious.
hilarious.
Funny. I was gonna say my favorite episodes was any episode that had the Scottish guy, and I love that they met. And at first they were like these kind of rivals, and then they became friends, and then he's in other episodes. Oh my god, it was so funny. And then I think they were on the bridge, and he's like, I cannot get through, and he's like, but I must get through. He's like, no, but I get to, you're gonna, and they're just having this. He goes, yes, but I need to get through because I have to go to the other side, and then it's just hearing Jack kind of getting rolled up. It's like it was almost like him and the Scottish guy was the only person that could rile him up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where he's shouting, he's like, no, but I have to get through. No. And he's just like, bro, I've never seen Jack like get angry like that before. And then two tunes that happened beer afterwards. It's like, it was hilarious.
Sick,
and when they were fighting, they were fighting like those ladybird things, and you know what I mean? The Scottish guy's got his leg.
And I have to say, two things on the voice actors. First off is Phil Lamar.
Yeah.
No, he's coming afterwards, not because I'll come to that. Phil Lamar, I didn't realize there was a black guy playing this Japanese.
Oh, I loved it.
And he did it so well. And Phil Lamar is one of my favorite voice actors. I think he played Green Lantern in Justice League, and he was in the Metal Gear Solid 2 as Drebin. And his catalog, like, look up Phil Lamar. He's a dope voice actor. And then, as Rich was about to say, R.I.P. to Marco, because Marco, his voice is it's so iconic. It's so dope. And like, by the way, he played Uncle Iroh in Aang the Last Airbender as well. He
was in Conan the Barbarian as well, man.
Yeah, Marco was he was just brilliant, and I was really
power, man.
I was really upset when he passed, man.
Yeah,
and he did Aku well.
Yeah,
you know what? When you said R.I.P., when they released the latest season of Samurai Jack, I completely forgot that it wasn't even him.
But in remembrance to him, though, obviously I wish it was him, but still, season 5, the last season of Samurai Jack, it was, like I said, it's a bit like Clone Wars. It's like they know what we want, and they know the end. They know the end that they should do, and they did it with not to say that we want like we know exactly what's going to happen. We know exactly what's going to happen. It's just the way that you do it. We know that Sam has. We know that Jack has to get back. We know that he has to defeat Aaahh. But what are the consequences of that? Yeah, going back to Clone Wars, we know that the clones are going to turn. We know that Vader's Anakin's going to be Vader. But how does that story happen? How are we going to get to that? And that's what really pees me off with the movies. It's like, we know, don't do something like Rian Johnson where that's correct fan service for me. Like Samurai Jack and Clone Wars, that's the correct fan service to do. And do it in the right way, not just giving it to people and saying, "Oh, you already guessed what the ending is." Just here you go. Yeah, but do it with a great story. And like I said, this is one cartoon that I pretty much cried at the end. And sick.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah. It was beautiful. Even the end under the cherry blossom, the ladybird. I was like, hot. Ouch.
Do you know what? Because I think about time travel a lot, and I don't know if it's because like Back to the Future is my favorite trilogy. If I'm honest, I know a lot of people around our age will say Star Wars, but mine is Back to the Future.
Well, they don't have time travel in Star Wars.
No. Just
okay.
When people say
but
mine is Back to the Future. But going back on time travel. Grew up watching Back to the Future and a whole bunch of time travel movies, and just comic books. You think about this stuff. Even like you're watching the Arrowverse, and they're doing like time travel all the time and crises and shit. Getting to my point, when I was watching the final season or even the final episode where he takes it, he's about to marry that girl. What was her name again? Sorry, Aaahh. I was looking at it, and even as emotional as it was, I'm sitting there thinking, she's gonna disappear. There's no way it doesn't make sense.
No, but that's the thing.
Unless she exists out of time.
If you realise, it took time, man. They took time
because
he
did take
got
time.
back. She got, and you even saw that she actually met his mother, and her and his mother had a thing as well. They was checking out the dresses.
They clearly had a life together.
Yeah, and then you was like, she's gonna disappear. She's gonna disappear. But what they did is that they made you think that she isn't gonna disappear right until the point that she does.
Done really clever.
It was done really clever. But it made you think
painful,
though.
man.
It made you think like, oh. It could. The time that they left it. It was like, she might not disappear though. It might just be happening. But just when you thought that, bam, she's gone. Yeah.
That was painful, man. That was painful.
It was.
That was so painful. But it was brilliant.
Painful to see her die, and it was painful to see the last episode of Samurai Jack because you know it's not going to come again. But they do have a game coming out soon. So
I forgot about that.
we said this in another podcast. Yeah, we did. We were like, we're playing that game. We'll be playing again.
Definitely. I hope Tones and Biz plays that game as well and do a review of that game. Let us know what you guys say. How it is. Cool.
Okay, what we got? What else we got? We got like 8 more.
No, we've got 3 more. Next one is the same year as Samurai Jack. This one I personally missed, and I keep hearing good stuff about it, especially through Karen and his brothers. Invader Zim.
Oh my god!
Oh, I know what my favorite episode is.
Oh my god!
Can I go with my favorite episode? Right.
Go.
This cartoon got cancelled because kids. See, this is what I'm saying. If this came out in the 90s. This came out in the 90s.
No problem.
We would have got like 5 seasons, but because it came out in the 2000s,
2001,
just missed the cut.
Yeah.
Just missed the cut. Kids by then were soft already.
Yeah.
And there was this episode called Dark Harvest, which is just the best. So Dark Harvest is basically, so we've got Invader Zim. He's this alien from the planet Urkin, and he was sent as an invader to take over Earth for the Urkin Empire, and the people who run the Urkin Empire are the tallest. The reason they're called the tallest is only because they're taller than all the other apes. And that's it. I would hate to think what would happen if a kid is born and it becomes taller than them, because I guess by default that means that it rules. Anyway,
that's so funny.
in Dark Harvest, there's this other kid called Dib, and Dib is the only one who can tell that Zim is an alien. So they're on the playground at school. For some reason, Zim likes to go to school.
He's trying to learn about human existence in school.
And they're at school, and kids are playing with a ball, and the ball, I think a ball hits one kid, and he's like, "Ow, my spleen!" And then the ball hits Zim in the stomach, and he's like, "Ah, my Squeedily Spooch!" and then Dib is like, "Didn't anybody hear that? No human being has a Squeedily Spooch." So
I might be over here just laughing. Go ahead.
So then they're in class, and Dib makes a comment about Zim not having human organs. So Zim's like, "Okay, fine. Then I guess I just have to get some organs." So he goes around the school, and he's just taking organs from kids around the school. And
he's amazing.
And then
he's amazing.
Dib is like, "You can't possibly think this is gonna work. You look disgusting. You've got too many organs." He's like, "Foolish Dib human. More organs means more human." Like, his logic is so dumb.
Oh my god, no, Richie!
I do want to watch this. I need to watch this.
Oh my
And then there's this one scene where he coughs, like he literally coughs, and he just rolls out some an intestines out of his mouth, and he just has to roll it back in, and he swallows it yo.
Oh my god, Invader Zim is amazing.
It was so funny because he had to go at the end of the episode. He has to go to they're in class, and I forgot why Zim was sent to the
principal's office.
Sent to the nurse.
Oh yeah.
At one point, Zim puts something in Dib when he takes Dib's organs, and then the nurse is like pressing Zim, and she's like, "Oh, so many organs! No, such plentiful organs! What a healthy human boy!" Sends him away, and then Dib has to go to the nurse's to the nurse's office because he had head pigeons.
Head pigeons.
Because he had a pigeon on his head. It's like the teacher's like, "Dib, go to the nurse's office. You got head pigeons."
It's so stupid, but it's great.
It's so great. It is so great. Like, you have to watch it. Trust me, it's really, really good.
Oh my god.
When she tests Dib, he has like this. You know those toys where you turn them upside down, they like make noises, like they go mrrr or whatever. So he had one of those inside him because Zim took his organs. So when the nurse puts the stethoscope on him and she hears mrrr, she's like, "Oh my god, it isn't human!" And boom, episode ends. Nothing was resolved. Zim just has all the organs.
Oh my god, no! They invaded him, and can I just say, honorable mention of Gurr. Gurr is like the best.
Gurr is like,
thing. He's like, I like hugs. I don't want. And then he might fall on the floor and he'll be walking with his head on the floor and he'll be like, I just want to have a time.
There was this, I think it was the first episode where they're going to Earth and Zim is just doing one of his long monologues about doom, and then Gurr's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sing the doom song," and for ages
oh my god!
And I used to have that as a ringtone. People used to make the funniest looks. I remember I used to work at I'm not gonna give the shop any play. I used to work at a shop, and one of the managers, she was pretty cool. I was walking behind her to go to the office or something, and my phone rang. So all she can hear was.
I'm getting that right now.
I'm like, yeah, I know. But that was my ringtone for years, man.
Oh my days! No, yeah. Just if you haven't watched Invader Zim, I know Rich, you're gonna be watching. If you haven't watched Invader, watch Invader Zim. Even watch the movie.
I was gonna say a good start.
So what is the movie? Is the movie like the pilot or?
No. The movie is just a continuation of where the show left off.
No, I want to watch the show before that. Yeah, I want to watch.
Watch the show. It's brilliant.
It's really good. And there's
so funny.
So many characters, and it's a shame it got cancelled because kids are soft. Because apparently that episode that I just told you about gave kids nightmares. Apparently.
How?
We grew up on that show. If that was in the 90s, that would have just been the episode, just standard like, we watched
Do
Ren
you
and
know what
Stimpy.
Ren did to Stimpy? Do
That's
you
what I'm saying.
Do you know? There was an
Don't
episode of
whiz
Ren and Stimpy where they went into someone's ear and were taking out earwax and then did some madness. And you know the happy joy, happy joy, like that madness. Oh my god.
That was just to us. Normal. To us, Invader Zim was just another Saturday morning.
There you go.
To these kids, it was like, oh my god, mommy, I'm scared. I'm like, you punks, man.
Yeah, look at this.
I'm not.
Grow a squiggly bean thing.
Grow. Where's your Squeedily Spooch?
Little Squeedily Spooch.
I think that should be the title.
The name of the show.
Where's your Squeedily Spooch? Yeah.
I don't know how you're spelling this, but I'm here for it. Like.
I'll figure it out.
Alright.
Oh my god. Okay, what's
next?
next? Oh my god, that was brilliant.
Next one is the last Airbender, Avatar.
I'll be
Which now is on Netflix.
Is it on Netflix?
Okay.
Yeah. Whole animated series is on Netflix
series.
now.
Right, I'm going to be brief. So my favorite 2 episodes were, the first one is The Storm. The Storm is a brilliant episode. I haven't watched it to kind of recap, but I'll just kind of tell you what it is. Throughout the show, you know that Aang, basically he was this monk who was frozen in ice for 100 years, and he was the Avatar. He was supposed to learn all 4 elements and basically save the world from the Fire Nation. Because he went missing, he was frozen. You wonder, why was he frozen? Where's he been? And people are asking him, where have you been these 100 years? The Fire Nation has basically colonized the whole planet. We don't know. You were supposed to be there to help us. And he's only a 12-year-old boy. He's 112 years old. I think by season 3 he's 113. But anyway. And there's this scene where they go to like this, they meet this fisherman and they want to get some jobs so that they can just get some money. And the fisherman guy's like, wait a minute, are you the Avatar? And he's like, yeah, I am, because he's like a cocky kid. He's like, where have you been? You let us down. And he really, really felt bad. So he basically ran off. Ran off. And then he tells Katara, his love interest. She's like, don't listen to him. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And Aang's like, actually, he's right. I did abandon everybody. And it basically, now, there's another character. You don't realize this until you get to this episode, but that show is about 2 characters. It is about Aang and Zuko. They're the main characters. And it shows you, and every other, and I'm Rich, when you were watching, you were saying it was silly. This is where it gets serious. It still has silly elements, but this is where the show gets serious. And it just shows how Aang, I actually don't want to spoil it for you too much, because I actually want you to watch it, but this shows how he became the Avatar, what he ended up having to give up, because he was like the most popular kid at his temple until, and he actually, you know, in the beginning of the episode, he's on his air scooter, which is like, I love that as well. He taught all the other kids at the temple how to do that, and then he became the Avatar. And then then he goes back to see his friends, and they're like, "Oh, you guys have picked it up really well." It's like, "Yeah, we even made a game for it." He's like, "Oh, cool, can I play?" And they're like, "No, because you're the Avatar, we don't think it would be fair if you're in either team." So his friends basically abandoned him, and he only had the one friend, which was his best friend, was like this monk called Monk Gyatso, the guy who trained him. And,
sorry, sidebar. When he was like, you know, you must eat, I know, onions. He's talking about onion soup. He's like, there's onion soup. He's like, it's good for you. It helps cleanse. He's like, give us onion soup. Like, I just love that interaction with them too. Like, it's just,
Monk Gyatso, his relationship with Monk Gyatso was sick. And he basically finds out he's become the Avatar, and everything changes. He's not allowed to hang out with Monk Gyatso anymore, because all the elder monks feel like that Monk Gyatso is babying Aang. His friends won't hang out with him, and Aang is just a boy. He's 12 years old. He just wants things to go back to normal. And then the monks take him away, so he decides to basically pack up and run away. And he gets caught in a storm, and then he had never gone into the Avatar state before. He just found out he's the Avatar, but he goes into this Avatar state where he can harness all elements, and he just freezes himself, and he's just lost in the ice for 100 years. On the sidebar, it's showing us Zuko's story, because you're seeing him as like this antagonist who's just a little shit of a kid, but he was actually a sweet kid. He was like,
that's the fire
his mom,
guy, right?
his dad.
Yeah. Okay.
He's the one who's chasing him. got his mum, his dad, and his sister. And his sister is just pure evil, pure unadulterated evil. And his dad loves his sister, but obviously he's the eldest, so he's like the heir to the throne. And he asks, and his dad is about to have like a war conference, so he asks his uncle Iroh if he could join in the conference. He's like, yeah, come and sneak in with me. And then he finds out that his dad is basically going to sacrifice some soldiers. So he speaks up against his dad when you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. So his dad hated him. He did. His dad had no love for him in the first place. He used this as an excuse. And basically, what in the Fire Nation, they have this thing called an Agni Kai, which is called a fire duel. And his dad said you to because you spoke out, you have to fight in an Agni Kai. So he's like, fine, I'll do it. But he didn't realize he had to fight his dad. So he's like, Dad, I'm not gonna fight you. You used to fight his dad. And then his dad is horrible. Ooh, quick sidebar. His dad is played by none other but
Nope.
Right.
Plays his dad. Yeah. Also, Mark Hamill played the Green Hobgoblin and Joker.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you, guys.
Such a good Joker.
So his dad is like, you will learn discipline, Zuko, even if I have to teach it to you myself. And he burns him. He burns half his face off. A 15-year-old boy. And then he banishes him. He banishes him from the Fire Kingdom, says, you can't come back here until you find the Avatar. And the thing is, as far as the Fire Lord was concerned, he knew he basically gave Zuko an impossible task. Because the Avatar's been gone for 100 years. He thought, this guy's never going to find the Avatar.
About that time, he comes out.
And then at that time, he comes out of hiding. So then Zuko wants to go home, and he makes it his mission to find the Avatar.
Yeah.
Now,
that's pretty sad, man.
That's that episode. It is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm all about those emotional episodes. Yeah. Wait, one more episode. Now, my second favorite one, Zuko Alone.
Zuko's a bad boy. She's just banging. That's just great.
Zuko Alone was a dope episode. This is when you start to see that Zuko is teetering on the edge of good and bad. He's gonna go on the dark side, or is he gonna go on the light side of the Force? And he basically he decides to leave his uncle by himself because he just wants to he's got this internal struggle going on. Rich, you know what? Please watch this show, because when you find out.
No, I said to you guys before, because I did start to watch it, and it did seem slow to me. And even Danielle watched the episode, and she was giving me weird looks. But I
feel like Danielle is the portal of like, if she watches.
No. All my life, I don't watch bullshit.
No, I know. But for me, it was like it was too slow for me to watch right now. So what I said is, because I think she was still pregnant at the time anyway. I said I would watch it with Cass. Yeah. Cass watches. He actually likes Rebels. He watches it.
Oh, by the way,
he's a 90s baby.
By the way,
if it's 2020.
Your mum sent my mum the video of him dancing to Michael Jackson. Brilliant.
I only said that the other day.
That's so cute.
Yeah. I taught him. Well, Michael Jackson's teaching him how to dance, but yeah, he loves music now, man.
Thing is, when Michael Jackson died,
baby.
When Michael Jackson died, I promised that I would teach my son about Michael Jackson. And my son loves Michael Jackson, so ratings for that.
You need to.
You have to.
Oh man.
So anyway,
so cute.
going back to Zuko Alone, he decides he wants to separate from his uncle and just go on a little thinking quest. And he ends up in this town. This episode is very much like a cowboy western. It's sick. It's this guy who rose up on I don't even know what the animal is. In this show, they've got weird animals. They've got like crossbreeds of animals, like armadillo bear or you know what I mean? Sorry, sidebar. There's this one episode where they go to the Earth Kingdom, and the Earth Kingdom has a bear, and they're like, "What kind of bear is it? Is it a platypus bear? Is it an armadillo bear?" And then they're like, "No, on here it just says bear." And they're like, "This place is weird." Anyway, he ends up in this town. And he makes friends with this little boy, and there's these Earth Kingdom, are they Fire Nation? No, Earth Kingdom soldiers that are just basically running taxes, running game on this town. So Zuko is kind of like doesn't want to get involved. I'm not interested. But then he likes the little boy, and the little boy's family takes him in and feeds him. So he's like, okay, I guess I'll help. And this episode was quite sad as well, because then he decides to fight. And Zuko's a G, because not only can he do like his firebend and stuff, but he has these swords, these kind of two broadswords. Yeah, broadswords that he uses as well. And he fights the two Fire Nation guys, and he's starting to lose. So then he gets pissed off, and then he starts using his firebend, and he beats them. And then it's like, they're like, oh my god, who are you? It's like, I am Prince Zuko of the Fire Nation, heir to the throne. And then one of the guys in the town was like, yeah, I've heard about you. You're dishonored. His own father burned and disowned him. And then he goes back to the little boy to hand him something. And he's like, I don't want it. I don't want to have anything to... Basically, that same boy that he made friends with is like, oh, you're Fire Nation. I don't want to have anything to do with you. And the whole town is back. And I'm like, oh, this episode is just... I'm telling you, that Zuko's story... Like, Aang has a great story, but it parallels with Zuko. It's such a great show.
So how many seasons? It's three seasons, but it branches out to a different show as well, right?
Yeah. It branches out into Legend of Korra. I like Korra, but it's not as good as...
Is Korra Aang. Another character in this then, yeah?
So Korra is not in the story with Aang. Korra is born 70 years after Aang or something like that. Aang dies and then...
Oh, right, okay.
She's the Avatar. There can only be one Avatar. There's, actually, I think in Korra they actually do like two Avatars at a time. Right. But it's very interesting how they do it. It's very clever how they do it. But every time an Avatar dies, a new one is born. So Korra is the Avatar after Aang, and it's weird watching Korra because you see Katara, you see Toph, who's like part of the original Team Avatar. But it's weird. And then Aang's son is there as an adult, and it's like weird that these guys are there, but Aang isn't there. Do you know what I mean? But
it's like 20 episodes, I think. They're like 20
I think it's like 20 episodes, but it's like they're a breeze. And one thing I like about this show, there's one episode that's filler. You know it's filler. It's like an episode. It's like playing an RPG and they go on a side quest. It's exactly that, but it works so well. Do you know what I mean? And I remember one episode of Korra where they're doing the main story, and then they had to go on a side quest. I remember me and my brother were like, yes, side quest. On that episode.
Hate side quests.
Mate, I'm on loads of side quests at the moment, man.
Yeah, when you're playing on RPG, RPG, you get used to side quests. So when one comes up in something, side quest.
Alright, so Avatar, The Last Airbender, 2005.
That's it.
The last one is The Clone Wars, 2010. This one, like I said, I've already spoken enough about it this episode anyway. But my favourite episode was episode 10 of season... What season's the last season? Season 7. It's called The Phantom Apprentice. This one was amazing because this one was... it was around the same time as... Obi-Wan after Anakin killed Sidious, and so Darth Sidious it has been Ahsoka
That's alright.
Count Dooku, that's who he killed. Anakin killed Count Dooku. And this is basically at the middle part of Return of the Sith.
Sorry, hang on a sec. Count Dooku doesn't die in the movies, does he?
He does.
No.
He does.
I watched the
it was right at the beginning of the Return of the Sith. I think it is. Revenge of the Sith. Sorry,
yeah.
Revenge of the Sith. Right at the beginning, because they kidnapped. Sidious. They kidnapped what's his name in it? Palpatine. Yeah. And the thing about
is that the one with?
What's that? Is this the one with? So in the animated in Clone Wars, you actually see them get the call that Darth Sidious, that Palpatine has been kidnapped by Dooku. So she talks to Anakin just before he goes off, and she's kind of peeved because he's kind of always going to him. Kind of nothing else matters. When something happens to him, they always run off. But this happens. This particular episode, the Phantom Apprentice, is I can't. Well, we all know he's still alive anyway. It's Ahsoka versus Darth Maul, and they're on Mandalore as well. And mate, this fight was mwah, mwah.
Someone needs to do a compilation of all like the Star Trek Rebels and like Clone Wars fights. Like,
they brought back Ray Park as well. Just so you know, they brought back Ray Park, and they did the motion capture on him and the Ahsoka character as well. So this fight looks amazing as it is, and I think the thing that makes this particular episode my favourite one is because this is kind of like the accumulation of everything coming together, and it was kind of like it you know what's going to happen, but just the realization of how it's happening and why it's happening, and there's certain things that's been building up throughout the whole season, throughout the whole series, and it's kind of come to this point. And I just think the whole story, the music, the soundtrack to it was done perfectly. So this has to be my favourite episode. But then the last episode came out as well. So
that may be eclipses it just a little.
I think you got to watch the 4 of them together. So there's 4 episodes of them coming together. So you've got Old Friends Not Forgotten, The Phantom Apprentice, Shattered, and Victory and Death. So yeah, I'll definitely recommend. If you're not going to watch all of it, then watch those final 4 episodes. But Clone Wars,
like a mini movie, 2-parter.
Sick.
No, I think tonight I'll give Black Lightning a rest.
Yeah, please do.
I'll watch. No, I think I'm Black Lives Matter tonight. So I'll watch some Clone Wars instead.
Definitely. Watch some Clone Wars. So what episode are you on at the moment?
15 or 16. The last one I watched was actually pretty dope. It's when they were on that planet of pirates.
Pirates,
And then Jar Jar Binks had to save Anakin and Obi-Wan. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where they... No, it wasn't that one. I've watched one after that. It's when they're on that planet. Sorry, it's a different one. It's when they're on the planet with the little people that look like lemurs, and they don't want to get involved in the fight. And
I can't remember that one. They're all so bunched up together. I binged that like an MF, man.
I'm on the later part of season 1, so if I binge it tonight, hopefully I can get to season 2 tonight.
Speaking of the end.
Yeah.
The end of the show, people.
Thank you for sticking with us, because it's been 2 hours and
8 minutes now.
13 minutes.
That's how long we've been on.
Oh, maybe that's when the chat started. Yeah. Less than. Well, thank you for joining us. It's been fantastic.
I know. Every Wednesday, 7:30ish, as Rich will tell you, make sure you come, and get a hoodie, or a t-shirt or a little cup or some socks, the swall. Say however you like. Teespring, spoons, and get your 20% off.
The sauce
20.
The sauce exactly.
20. The sauce 20. Get that 20% off. You know what I mean? While you're in quarantine, help us out. You know what I mean? Jump on our Patreon. Give a little Patreon a go. You know what I mean? Stick some money in there, and we can, update the system. There we go.
A studio that says the sauce wall on the back.
Yeah. Or has the source wall in between things that you're not supposed to forget the next time you come to watch the show. And what's that? You're just smiling. You're not going to say it. You're not going to say it.
Don't forget to bring us out.
Yeah! Don't forget to bring a sandwich.
Bring a
With the
sandwich,
crust.
man. I'm telling you every week. Don't forget to bring a sandwich.
Don't forget to crust and all.
Crust.
Yeah.
It's not sandwich, crust. And it's just regular stuff.
Love and peace, peeps.
Thank you,
Thank you.
people.
Peace out, everybody.
Girl, love you.